And would the clerk call the roll, please?
Commissioner Look. Here. Commissioner Brastad. Here. Commissioner West. Here. Commissioner Schulte. Here. Commissioner Meisner. Here. Commissioner Gamache.
Here.
Thank you. And next, we will move on to the tax claims and abatements. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a motion by Commissioner Brastad and a second by Commissioner West. Any further discussion? There'll be a roll call vote.
Commissioner Brastad.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
And that motion carries. Next, we will move on to the approval of the minutes from the July 23rd, 2019 County Board meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a motion before us for the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. Is there further corrections, deletions, or additions? Seeing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Terrific. The minutes are adopted. Next, we'll move on to committee reports, and we are going to start with the Management Committee. Commissioner West.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First item is 2 new positions. One is Human Services Community Corrections Probation Officer position, and the other is a social worker that will be working in corrections. And this is being funded by legislation that we had requested last year. So we'll have $400,000 for 2 years as kind of a pilot, and then it will become permanent if it achieves what we like.
Thank you. We'll take these two separate. First, let's deal with 1A, which is the new position in Human Services Community Corrections. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gamache
Second.
and a second by Commissioner Brastad. Further discussion? Seeing none, we will have a roll call vote.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad.
Aye.
And that motion passes. Next, we'll move on to item B, which is the new position in Human Services Community Corrections. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Meisner. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner West. Further discussion? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
And that motion passes.
And we have 2 items in our additional agenda. First is a new position in Employee Relations, and it's 1 FTE, Employee Relations Consultant, grade 12.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Brastad. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner West. Is there further discussion? Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to share, because we just got out of that meeting, that this is a budget neutral move, and it took me a little while to kind of follow all of the shifting, but I know that fiscal responsibility is a value here in this board, and I just wanted to stress that this is all a budget neutral position. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye. And that motion passes.
The next item is a restructure in finance in central services. It's going to be restructured from 1 FTE, payroll specialist, grade 9, and a .625 FTE claims coordinator. The restructure is to a .625 FTE office support specialist, grade 8, and a 1 FTE risk management coordinator, grade 12. So this is, one reason for doing this is because the responsibilities that are given to these people are going to be updated. And the other one, the coordinator position, is supplementing a coordinator that we already have, so that with their workload it's for the workload they have, it's necessary to increase the staff for that.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Meisner. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Further discussion? Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to flesh out a little bit of what Commissioner West was talking about, it sounds too like they really did a lot of an internal analysis and shifting to make this, again, a budget neutral solution. So I just wanted to point that out as well. Thank you very much for the time and the care that you took to make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would just comment for the edification of the public that this was hashed over at length in the management committee meeting, which is just prior to the county board meetings. So, and all commissioners were present, so everyone's pretty much up to speed. So if we don't talk about it at length here, please understand and join us at our management committee meeting sometime. With that, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
And that passes.
And the other items in the original agenda are information only, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner West. Next, we will move on to the Finance and Capital Improvements Committee Chair Report. Commissioner Look.
Mr. Chair, thank you. The Finance and Capital Improvements Committee did not meet due to not having a lot of items to talk about, so this is a chair's report at this point. And I recommend the County Board adopt Resolution 2019-F4, delegating authority to review and pay claims to the Finance and Central Services Manager. And essentially, we do this already, but my understanding is we are looking to exactly follow Minnesota State Statute 375.18, and I've asked Corey to kind of highlight some of the specifics on this. So.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Commissioner Look. Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Corey Camp. I'm the Finance and Central Services Division Manager for Anoka County. What we did is, under State Statute 375.18 that Commissioner Look pointed out, that allows a county board to delegate the authority to pay claims, continually like we do, bringing them forward to the board for informational purposes so that you can, just approve them as an informational item to know. And that is kind of the continent's kind of continuance of business, okay? And this is used by many other counties. We actually took a look at Hennepin County and Dakota County when we went through this process. But during our review, we were not able to find the foundational resolution that needs to be in place, because we've been doing this for decades, as far as I know. And so we decided it was time to, let's get us up to speed. Let's make sure we are, following the letter of the law. And so this resolution sets the foundation going forward. Then the second action will be something where you actually approve, it's kind of an informational item, but we're asking the board to actually approve receipt of the claims list, and there is a claims list that comes every board meeting. And so that will go back onto the board meeting on the claims list as you have seen it in the past. So it's not really going to change. We're just adjusting it slightly, making sure we're in compliance with the law. And we're going to continue our process, and it just helped us to review everything. And so we are going to do a little front paper so that when the board agenda comes out, it actually says, yes, we're going to be, initiating the, what do we call it? It's a motion for acceptance of the claim. So it's not a resolution, but it's a motion. So, and that's something that will be before you. So our first action is ask that you adopt the resolution. Then the second action will be that you do a motion for acceptance of the current claim list that has been given to you.
Thank you.
The resolution, Mr. Chair.
There's been an offer of the resolution 2019-F4, delegating authority to review and pay claims to the Finance and Central Services Division Manager. Is there further discussion? Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just commentary. Thank you for finding this. I mean, if this is a practice we've been doing for decades, and I think that it was unique that you found that we didn't actually have a resolution for this, and so I appreciate that we are doing things officially and intact going forward. Thank you.
And I would comment that thanks should go out to the attorney's office, as it was County Attorney Tony Palumbo who pointed out to us that we should at least look at this and see where we may have omitted or taken a step sideways when we should be hitting it head-on. So it was his recommendation, and again, thanks to Central Finance for digging in and finding the right process, working with Teresa and others on our staff to make sure it's right. Further discussion, Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just one question. So this motion that we're doing, we'll do this motion for every board meeting?
The second motion, the
The
one we're
second
voting
motion.
on now is
Yes.
a resolution for
Yep.
the record. And then the second one will be a motion and
just a
and
practice
an
that
item
we do.
that'll come through
Okay.
or every meeting.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner. Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
And the resolution is adopted. Next, Commissioner Look, item 2.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I recommend that the county board by motion accept the claims paid list for the period ending August 9, 2019 for regular claims over $500 and for the period ending August 2nd, 2019 for purchases and card claims.
And I would remind everybody that that claims list is in your Dropbox. You can look over it, make sure you agree with everything, and it's the kind of stuff that's a lot of minutia, and most of the stuff is hard to review, but at the same time, it's important that we take a look at it occasionally, and it's there for your review. With that, I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Look, second by Commissioner West. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And that will pass.
And that concludes my report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Look. Next, we'll move on to the Information Technology Committee report, and we will turn to Commissioner Gamache.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We met on July 29th, the IT committee, and we had just informational items. As I see, Susan is coming to the podium up there. And the first item was the Informational Technology Committee considered, for informational purposes only, an addendum to the 2020 CIP presentation. If anybody has any questions regarding that, Susan is available for that. Otherwise, the other two items were discussion about the 2020 operating budget, and then we also had some discussion about the Connect Anoka County network, which is some changes or things have to happen in the next couple of years as that reaches its end on the first contract, I believe. And if anybody has any let's say Susan's here to answer any questions, but Susan, do you want to give a quick update?
Mr. Chair, members of the county board, I'm Susan Vreel, I'm the Director of Information Technology. Sort of a housekeeping meeting back for us towards the end of July. Both the operating budget and an addendum to the CIP are kind of standard business for us. We tend to plan way in advance for the following year. And again, Connect Anoka County, you've heard some updates in the past. We've got a big equipment refresh coming in 2020, and so again, preparing for that now so that we're not rushing next year and taking our time to do it right.
And I know this afternoon we'll be having our workshop on budgets, and obviously a lot of it's going to be related to IT. Presentation is going to be a lot about the CIP and some of the things that are upcoming, so we'll hear more about that later today. Otherwise, that includes my report.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, we will move on to the Intergovernmental and Community Relations Committee report. Commissioner Brassad.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The committee met on August 1st, and we just have informational items, but just to highlight that we did review 3 budgets from the Medical Examiner's Office, Veteran Service Office, and the IG Community Relations Department. And then we also started planning the timeline for our next session's legislative platform. And so we are busy already working away for next session. And with that, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Brassad. Next, we'll turn to the Parks Committee and a chair report for Tuesday, August 13th.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me get down to it. There we go. Yes, we had one item, action item. The chair recommends that the county board award the contract for the Mississippi West Road Parking Lot and Trail Project to Forest Lake Contracting from Forest Lake, Minnesota for in the amount of $564,447.39. This is to pave the road and the parking lot that is just to the I guess it would be either I guess it's the south side of that road going in. For those of you who haven't been out to Mississippi West, that park, does have a parking lot that's already paved, that's down by the river, with an access for launching boats and picking and bringing them back out again. So that's done. But we did have a gap in between from what the city, I think, had maybe started off of their main road there. And so we wanted to get that paved and then also get this other parking lot paved, and this covers both of those. So I will move it.
There's a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Luck. Is there further discussion?
Discussion, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner?
For those that have used this park or have launched a boat there, that dirt road is always an issue when you come pulling out, because the boats are wet and creates a lot of dust, of course, and you need to wash your boat again. So this will be a nice improvement in that area. And despite what you may have heard out there, there are absolutely no smallmouth bass that can be caught in that area. So folks know.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Luck. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
And that passes.
The rest of the items are informational, Mr. Chair, and I just wanted to thank Mr. Perry for setting up an opportunity for he and I to get together with our new Chamonix manager, Mark Johnson, to be out and touring the golf course as we did. But it was an opportunity for us to really sit down, for me to really sit down with Mark and talk to him about his theories, his philosophies, how it all went down that he decided to move back from California and didn't expect that he'd find a full-time job. And that's what he was concerned mostly about, was being able to, have a job where he was working and had benefits and everything, and found this. And I think he seems to be a great fit for what we need. He's also not a bad golfer. But it was nice to do that, because I got 18 holes in, and I got to be able to talk to him the whole time and say, what do you think about this? What changes do you want to make? What are your opportunities that you see that we have? Because this is an important part of our Parks Department, and we really want to see it be successful. So I'm very happy, and I want to thank Mr. Perry for setting that up so that we could have that opportunity to have a conversation with Mark. That's my report.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to Property Records and Taxation Committee report. Back to you, Commissioner Gamache.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We met on July 29th, and we had a couple action items. The committee recommends the county board adopt the following resolutions for conveyance of tax forfeited property. Resolution number 2019 PRT 17, application by the city of Coon Rapids for conveyance of tax forfeited property for an authorized public purpose redevelopment for a market value of $100. The PIN number is 26-31-24-12-0026 in the city of Coon Rapids. And I will offer the resolution.
The resolution's been offered. Any discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
And that motion passes.
The next is the resolution 2019 PRT 18, application by the city of Coon Rapids for conveyance of tax forfeited property for an authorized public purpose redevelopment for a market value of $100, PIN number 26-31-24-12-0029 in the city of Coon Rapids. I should have mentioned both of these are pretty much in the same area, just off Coon Rapids Boulevard, and kind of where it's about to split off to East River Road. And they're small pieces of property, and there's a big redevelopment going on in the city of Coon Rapids. So this makes some sense, and I'll offer that resolution as well.
The resolution's been offered. Is there further discussion? I would only comment, for those of you that drive by that area occasionally, it does look a little bit like a bomb dropped. There are lots and lots of excavators moving dirt and getting ready for that 136 home redevelopment. A combination of single-family homes and detached townhomes, 3 different styles, all done by Central Homes, a Coon Rapids company. So it's all good news down there, but it looks different, and they're committed to planting a great number of new trees on the new properties to replace the trees they've taken down. And these two pieces that we're taking care of here were all a part of that. Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte. Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
And that resolution is adopted. Next.
Next one is 2019 PRT 19, application by the city of Coon Rapids for conveyance of tax forfeited property for non-conservation removal of blight for a reduced purchase price of $75,300. PIN number 24-31-24-21-0100 from the city of Coon Rapids. This is a house that had been vacant or and had kind of fallen into disrepair, and the city wants to purchase it and bring it back, if they can, to a better purpose. And I'll offer the resolution.
The resolution's been offered. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Meisner. Aye. Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye. And that resolution is adopted.
Item number 2, the committee recommends approval of the addendum number 2 to Phase 2 Services Agreement with Tyler Technologies, Inc., contract number C0005578, revising the project plan and certain payment terms. We are in the process of working with Tyler on software update. This change that what we're requesting to do here, this addendum, was upon our concern about Tyler's ability to meet the initial production cutover date. We've been working with them to modify the amended agreement terms. Addendum number 2 to the Phase 2 Services Agreement revises the project plan timeline, the production cutover date, payment schedule, and certain payment terms regarding the SaaS software, that's software as a service fees. The addendum does not increase our original not to exceed contract amount, but it does change our production cutover date to November 2019. It looks like we were going to do some testing, or we have been doing some testing with them, and we're ready for, we were looking at September 11th, and I believe now might have been pushed back to September 16th, when we're going to see some actual, we're going to see some testing going on, and we're getting ready for that November cutover date. It has been difficult, and I'll give a lot of credit to not only our staff in property tax, but our staff in IT in working with Tyler. As many of you may recall, we only had 2 companies bid for this project. One was a company that we used to use, so we kind of questioned whether or not they could move forward with what we wanted to do. And Tyler, which was a company that has been used by a number of different counties. So we knew that they had some experience. But we have asked them to do a little bit more in bringing things together so that we're not losing some of what we've already created in our current system, where our staff, our property tax staff, can work within the system, and it works together, and it is more efficient, and we're worried that we're going to lose something if that doesn't work. Now, they sold us that they could do it, so we're holding them to that we expect that they will do it, and then it will work out just exactly as they promised. There has been some delays. We seem to feel things are moving forward in a direction that will get us where we want to be by November 19th, or excuse me, November of 2019. But at the same time, we are holding them accountable for any delays that we're having, and that may require us some legal. I should also thank our great legal staff here at Anoka County that has been working with them as well to make sure that they are doing what they said that they were going to do.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
Mr. Chair, I'll move it with discussion.
Motion by Commissioner Look, second by Commissioner West. Discussion.
Mr. Chair, I just want to comment that I too want to give a shout out to all the staff that was identified and all their hard work on this. I'm sure some of this has been frustrating. And I appreciate their due diligence, because the last thing we want to do is roll this thing out, and if it's not ready for prime time, we have problems. I think the state kind of identified that as something not to do. So Certainly, while it may take a little while to get this to the point where we feel comfortable with it, I think that our staff is probably right in just determining that because, again, property tax and everything else, you roll it out wrong and you got major problems, and we certainly don't want to deal with those fires. So I think that's where we start getting phone calls at that point. So certainly, I'm hopeful that they can hit the September and November timeframes, and we can happily go on our way with their help. And if not, hopefully we can work with them closely on that. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Luck. And I would respond that you're referring quite a bit to the Minlars debacle, I'm sure. And it should be stated that our staff at Anoka County and the license centers vehemently said that Minlars is not ready, do not implement it. They begged, the Deputy Registrars Association begged the state not to go live with that because they knew it wasn't ready. And they went live with it, and it's an ultimate disaster. The cost and the fact that it is truly a trash can product at this point, and the new system will be coming live before the end of the year. This is a great example of why you don't do what the state of Minnesota did with Minlars. Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye,
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
and that motion passes.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Gamache. Next, we'll move on to the Public Safety Committee Chair Report. Commissioner Brassad.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our committee did not meet, so therefore I just have one chair's report. I would recommend adoption of Resolution 2019-PS10, the adoption of the Anoka County 2019 Multi-Jurisdictional All-Hazard Mitigation Plan. And speaking of disasters, this is the plan we have in place. Goes back to the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000, and every 5 years we need to review our plan. So this is, when the plan is in place, it allows the county and participating jurisdictions to receive the FEMA hazard mitigation assistance and grants. So it's very important that our county is covered by this, and I would be happy to offer that resolution.
The resolution's been offered. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that resolution is adopted. Is there any other action to come before the county board?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Gamache.
I should have mentioned this earlier, and I wanted to thank this is regarding something that was in our management regarding the specialized mental health community supervision pilot project that we received a grant from the legislature. And I want to thank especially Representative Stevenson, who I met with along with Dylan Workington when we were first talking about this back in early part of the legislative session, and he kind of helped lead that, along with other of our state representatives and senators here in the area, knowing that this was a good project. We're kind of testing it as for the entire state, if others would like to do it, but I think it's something good regarding working with mental health issues and supervising them within the criminal justice system. So I just wanted to thank the legislatures and then of course the governor for signing it. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Anything else to come before the county board? We are adjourned. I would remind the